It is Obi-Wan Kenobi Wednesday morning. Come, let us meditate like a Jedi. Join me as we play with the latest iteration of Buddha's Easy Meditation. Harken back to those halcyon days of junior high where the PE coach would insist that first we warm up before the main event and then conclude our class with a cool down. We're going to follow a similar outline, beginning with Maha Yoga's wisdom warm-up. For the view of reality that supports letting go is the first fold of the Buddha's Eightfold Path. Please chant with me. Rather than indulge or controlling tendencies, breath of follies, affective visualization, emotion, magic, and belief, we could just recite these wise words in harmony with our breathing and allow our subconscious to do the heavy lifting. Let us therefore sidestep the rigidity that confuses metaphors with statements literal, and relax into the flexibility that savors the chance explaining metaphors as similes. We begin with the word may. May is not an inference of supplication to a real or imagined deity. Au contraire. This is reminding us that we use words to guide our own intention. The Buddha was fond of organizing that which he perceived during mindfulness into four categories, those of the circumstantial, the physical, the interpersonal, and the mental. This morning we shall begin with the circumstantial. Please chant with me. May we see how all circumstances or lots could be as impermanent and interdependent, as if they could blissfully melt under rainbow light that could delightfully absorb into this body or form. So the word as here reminds us that this second half is figurative. That's important. People get in big trouble when they confuse the figurative for the literal. So the verb melt is figurative of impermanence. The verb absorb is figurative of interdependence. And just as a forester might choose to fight fire with fire, we are going to fight self-centeredness with self-centeredness. We're going to take all these words and compress them down into just 6 syllables, which we divide between our inhalation and our exhalation. Together. May we feel how all bodies or forms could be as impermanent and interdependent, as if they could blissfully melt into rainbow light that could delightfully absorb into this communicational speech. So remember the disclaimer. Our job is not to believe or reason or memorize or visualize. We're just playing with these words passively as a warm-up for the meditation that follows. May we hear how all interpersonal speech could be as impermanent and interdependent as if it could blissfully melt into rainbow light that could delightfully absorb into this mind. In Buddhist literature, we often stumble upon the noun empty or void. When taken literally, this can be very confusing. A minority opinion is that emptiness or voidness was always considered to be figurative. A simile is only as effective as it is relatable. So, in the second page of this recitation, we're going to explore a real-world example of a non-graspable vast empty void, transforming emptiness from a mere abstraction to a simile that speaks to us viscerally. Together. May we feel how all perceiving, emoting, intending, thinking, recalling, and imagining minds could be as impermanent and interdependent, as if they could blissfully melt into rainbow light that could delightfully absorb into our vast empty void. Like the illusion of the infinite azure sky on a bright and beautiful cloudless morn, which, although tantalizing to the eye, could be non-graspable to the hand. We come now to Hatha Yoga's mindfulness and meditation, the seventh and eighth folds of the Buddha's Eightfold Path. And we shall dig in after approximately 30 seconds of housekeeping. This is Lama Jigme Gyatso of the Buddha Joy Meditation School. For more than 30 years, I've spent about 8 hours a day almost every day, studying, practicing, mastering, and reverse engineering the teachings and techniques of each school of meditation so that you would not have to. Welcome, my friends, to meditate like a Jedi, which is made possible due to the generosity of viewers just like you. Oops, my mistake. Let's go back over here. Mudra refers to gesture or fingers, playing with our fingers, and Ana Yoga refers to energy work, both of which support our practice of meditation. We're going to play with a specific or knuckle-oriented method to keep track of our first collection of our left hand's 8 sets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Of our right hand's 12 rounds, remembering that a round is merely one inhalation and one exhalation. And we keep track of those 12 rounds upon our right hands by advancing the tip of our right thumb during each inhalation. When we do, this is like sped up, it would work like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We keep track of this first collection by resting the great knuckle at the base of our right little finger upon the tip of our left little finger resting both these hands palms up in our lap so our thumbs can happily count creases. Doing so induces subtle energy to coalesce at our in the bladder region where is located our secret wheel, which sounds very spooky. It's called secret because on the outside there is no marks. That's all. Nothing spooky here. Moving along, folks. Nothing to see here. In the words of Chief Wiggins. Mindfulness is simply noticing in a very special way. Noticing vulnerably, passively, viscerally, randomly, and fleetingly mind's antics of perceiving, emoting, intending, reasoning, recalling, and imagining. The most elegant way of doing this is to silently, mentally, and passively recite the demonstrative pronoun this during each inhalation. Meditation is simply relaxing into our exhalation, that all that we perceived during our previous inhalation could fleetingly seem less solid, less permanent, and less defining. It's practiced by silently, mentally, and passively reciting the one-syllable verb ease during each exhalation. Welcome to this morning's live stream. As we prepare for our second collection of our left hand's 8 sets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, of our right hand's 12 rounds, wherein we advance the tip of our right thumb during each inhalation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Wherein we keep track of this second collection. Oopsie, that's not helping. By resting the great knuckle at the base of our right ring finger upon the tip of our left ring finger, and then rest both these hands palms up in our lap that our thumbs might happily count creases. Doing so induces our subtle energy to coalesce at our navel wheel. Mindfulness is just noticing the antics of mind, but noticing in a very special way, noticing vulnerably, passively, viscerally, randomly, and fleetingly mind's antics of perceiving, emoting, intending, reasoning, recalling, and imagining. This is performed by silently, mentally, and passively reciting the demonstrative pronoun this during each inhalation. Meditation is simply relaxing in harmony with our exhalation in such a way that all that we perceived during our previous inhalation could fleetingly seem less solid, less permanent, and less defining. And it's practiced by silently, mentally, and passively reciting the one-syllable verb ease during each exhalation. So we're going to tie these two together. Every time we silently and mentally recite ease, we are advancing our thumb. You'll remember the moment you have a specific question about meditation or Buddhist meditation or philosophy or application, simply type your question in great detail in the chat window. Excuse me. We come now to our third collection. Of our left hand's 8 sets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And our right hand's 12 rounds, wherein we advance our thumb during each inhalation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. How do we keep track of this third collection? By resting the great knuckle at the base of our right middle finger upon the tip of our left middle finger in our lap. Doing so induces our subtle energies to coalesce at our heart. Oh, that's a fun idea. Let me try something real quick. Whoops. Okay, thank you for your patience. So, if you just jumped in, allow me to remind you that we've come to our third collection, wherein we are going to count 8 sets upon our left hand thusly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 sets of our right hand's 12 rounds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And to keep track of this third collection, we're going to rest the great knuckle at the base of our right middle finger upon the tip of our left middle finger in our lap. Doing so will cause our subtle energies to coalesce at our heart. Mindfulness is noticing, but noticing in a very special way. Noticing vulnerably, passively, viscerally, randomly, and fleetingly. The antics of mind as it perceives, emotes, intends, reasons, recalls, and imagines, and is best done while silently and mentally reciting the demonstrative pronoun this during our inhalation. Meditation is simply relaxing into our exhalation in such a way as to cause that which we perceived during our previous inhalation to feel less solid, less permanent, less defining, at least fleetingly. So I'm going to do what I hope shall be a quick edit. Whoopsie, here we go. We come to our fourth collection of our left hand's 8 sets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Of our right hand's 12 rounds, a round being 1 inhalation and 1 exhalation, wherein during each inhalation we advance the tip of our right thumb to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We keep track of this fourth collection by resting the great knuckle at the base of our right index finger upon the tip of our left index finger, with both these hands in our lap, palms up, that our thumbs might happily count creases. Doing so induces our subtle energy to coalesce at our crown. Mindfulness is simply noticing in a very special way. Noticing vulnerably, passively, viscerally, randomly, and fleetingly mind's antics of perceiving, emoting, intending, reasoning, recalling, and imagining. It is easiest and most elegantly practiced by silently and mentally reciting the demonstrative pronoun this during each inhalation. Meditation is simply relaxing in harmony with our exhalation in a manner that helps us to experience that which we perceived during our previous inhalation as fleetingly less solid, less permanent, and less defining. The easiest way to perform this is to silently and mentally recite the one-syllable verb ease during each exhalation. The moment you have a specific question about Buddhist philosophy, Buddhist meditation, or Buddhist practice, please type your question in great detail in the chat window. I check for questions approximately once every 8 minutes or so. Let us switch gears from silent meditation to mantra meditation. Let us begin by reviewing an explanation of this 12-syllable mantra. Please chant with me. With whom we invoke the archetype of the Muni, Muni, wise one. Maha, greatly wise one, Muni, yea, of the Shakya, Soha, enlightenment for all. There are many names or nicknames for Gautama or the Buddha. One of them is Shakya Muni, hence this mantra. Shakya Muni simply means sage of the Shakya clan. Nothing mystical. So this is how this works. As we inhale, silently, mentally, and passively, we recite relaxing into this. But what is this? This is whatever spontaneously seems to pierce our sphere of perception, our sphere of awareness, whether it is a sight or a sound or a sensation or a flavor or a scent or the like, such as an emotion or an intention or a thought or a memory or an imagining. During our exhalation, we physically relax as best we can while striving to chant these 12-syllable mantra 3 times per breath. Now, if this is your first time hanging out with me, please give yourself permission to have a learning curve. I find it helpful to count one breath per finger and one mantra recitation per set of creases. So there we go. Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Yesuwa 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 Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Yesuwa. One moment, I get to make a quick edit. So, but we keep track of our second collection by resting the great knuckle at the base of our right index finger upon the tip of our left index finger in our lap. Excuse me. Doing so induces our subtle energies to coalesce at the crown of our head. Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Yesuwa 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 Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Yesuwa. We come now to our third collection of our right hand's 12 rounds. We keep track of this third collection by resting the great knuckle at the base of our right middle finger upon the tip of our left middle finger in our lap. Doing so, oh, never mind. Let's try to keep it consistent. There we go. Doing so induces our subtle energies to coalesce at our heart wheel. Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Yesuwa, 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 Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Yesuwa. We now come to our fourth collection of our right hand's 12 rounds. We keep track of this fourth collection by resting the great knuckle at the base of our right ring finger upon the tip of our left ring finger in our lap. Doing so induces our subtle energy to coalesce at our navel. Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Yesuwa, 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 Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Yesuwa. We come now to our fifth collection of our right hand's 12 rounds. We keep track of it. Oopsie. We keep track of this fifth collection by resting the great knuckle at the base of our right little finger upon the tip of our left little finger in our lap. Doing so induces our subtle energies to coalesce at our secret wheel in our bladder region. Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Yesuwa, 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 Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Yesuwa. Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Yesawa. Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Yesawa. Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Yesawa. So at this point, we already did the wisdom warm-up, as well as we did wisdom warm-up, mindfulness, silent meditation, as well as mantra meditation. We now conclude with Mahayoga's compassionate cool-down, for loving kindness comprises 50% of the Buddha's Eightfold Path. Please chant with me. Rather than indulge or controlling tendencies, birth of follies of active visualization, emotion, magic, and belief, we could just recite these kind words in harmony with our breathing and allow our subconscious to do the heavy lifting. Let us therefore sidestep the rigidity that confuses metaphors or statements literal, and relax into the flexibility that savors the chance explaining metaphors as similes. We are continuing playing with mantras. This is going to be our 6th collection of our right hand's 12 rounds. By resting the great knuckle. Whoopsie, I need to tend to something real quickly. Please bear with me. Let's see, this is page 46. Let's go over here. Okay, so the reason I'm dealing with this right now is not because you're unimportant, but because of energy management. This is a good time, because even playing with these words is going to affect my energy. And that might sound self-important and silly, but that's just the name of the game. One, two. And this is the last one that we can get right back to it, kids. Once again, I appreciate your patience. Thank you very much. Come on, machine, don't fail me now. Splendid. Thank you very much. Now we can get right back to it. So we've discussed that we're resting our right little finger upon the tip of our left little finger in our lap. Please chant with me. Now, by the way, what follows is not a prayer. We're simply using words to guide our intention. May all minds of all beings know be as peacefully enlightened as the mind of a real or imagined Buddha symbolized by a tikle one suitable seed or bija mantra. So, all we're doing is bringing loving kindness. Or let's rephrase this. We're bringing the mental, the interpersonal, the physical, and the circumstantial into the path of loving kindness. So what we're going to do is take all these words and squish them down to just 6 syllables that we're going to silently and mentally recite during our inhalation. As such, may we be a fount of blessing for all who which we think, for all who which we think or who think of us. Om Muni Yesawa, Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Yesawa, Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Yesawa. Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Yesawa, Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Yesawa, Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Yesawa. Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Yesawa, Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Yesawa, Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Yesawa. Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Yesawa, Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Yesawa, Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Yesawa. The mental morality of kind intention is the second fold of the Buddha's Eightfold Path. We keep track of our seventh collection of Right Hand's 12 rounds. By resting... By resting the great knuckle at the base of our right ring finger upon the tip of our left ring finger in our lap, doing so induces our subtle energies to coalesce at our navel wheel. May we be a font of blessing for all who we hear or speak of, as well as those who hear us or speak of us, even insultingly. May all relationships or speech of all beings new be as joyfully loving as a real or imagined Buddha speech symbolized by a multisyllabic mantra. Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Yesawa, Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Yesawa, Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Yesawa. Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Yesawa, Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Yesawa, Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Yesawa. Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Yesawa, Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Yesawa, Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Yesawa. Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Yesawa, Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Yesawa, Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Yesawa. The interpersonal morality of kind communication is the third fold of the Buddha's Eightfold Path. We keep track of this eighth collection by resting the great knuckle to the base of our right middle finger upon the tip of our left middle finger in our lap, thus inducing our subtle energies to coalesce at our heart. May we be a font of blessing for all who we touch or who touch us. May all bodies or forms of all beings now enjoy the beautiful health represented by Buddha statuary, depicting the blissful body of a real or imagined Yadama archetype of enlightenment such as Shakyamuni. Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Yesawa, Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Yesawa, Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Yesawa. Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Yesawa, Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Yesawa, Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Yesawa. Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Esawa. 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 The physical morality of kind conduct is the fourth fold of the Buddha's Eightfold Path. We come now to our final exercise. So let's make it count. This is our ninth and final collection of 12 rounds for a total of 108. We keep track of this ninth collection by resting the great knuckle at the base of our right index finger upon the tip of our left index finger in our lap. Doing so induces our subtle energies to coalesce at our crown. May we be a font of blessing for all who see. Take two. May we be a font of blessing for all who we see or who see us. May all circumstances or lots of all beings now have their safe fortune open. As a Buddha's real or imagined paradise, pure land or vati. Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Esawa. 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 The circumstantial morality of kind commerce, not being a Karen, not being a Chad, not being competitive, but being cooperative, not being cruel, but being kind, is the fifth fold of the Buddha's Eightfold Path. If you feel that I have earned it, you could give this live stream a thumbs up. You could even help support this channel. In approximately 10 or so hours, I would very much like to return to lead today's evening meditation class and group practice. And if you are as geeky as me, may the Force be with you always.